Hello Legacy Taekwondo, I'm Master Misty Elder, and today is your Thursday workout for the week. We're going to have about a 10-minute warm-up, roughly a 10-minute cool down, and in between I have 9 exercises that we'll be doing 2 rounds of for 1 minute each round. So it'll roughly be about a 40-minute workout. We're going to go ahead and get started. I've got my timer set to keep us on track, and let's go ahead and start with calf raises up and down, getting those the balls of your feet, your calves, your heels, your ankles warmed up. You can turn this into a hop if you wish to hop. We're going to pull your toes off the ground, stretching through the calves a little bit, also warming up the muscles in the front of your shins. We're going to switch to butt kicks. So you can go at kind of a comfortable pace like this. You can run your pace. You can do your kangaroos where you're jumping both heels up at the same time. We're going to switch to running kicks where you're going to run those feet out in front. Think of them like little round kicks, but instead of turning your hips over, you're just kicking straight forward and a little bit up. Good. Pump those knees, high knees, or you can run in place. You want to boost your cardio really early on in your workout. We're just working from bottom to top, getting our body warmed up. We're going to bring one knee up and extend. Now you can switch back and forth from leg to leg. So you can do this leg for 15 seconds and then switch to the other leg with this exercise. Or you can do what I'm doing, where I'm going to be on my standing leg for a minute while I do 4 different exercises with this hip to heat it up. I'm spinning about 15 seconds on each exercise. Hip rotations forward. Woo. And hip rotations backwards. And switch, knee up. And side to side. And hip rotations forward. Really try to make as big of a circle as you can without falling down, so you're getting as much range of motion through that hip as possible, stretching those muscles out around the hip and inner thigh. I'm opening up my hip as my leg goes behind me. All right, set that down. We're going slow rotations through the core. This is not an explosive movement. There's no goal for snapping, crackling, or popping of our back. We're just rotating. Open those feet up. We're going over and reach. Kind of pulling through those sides a little bit. Very 1980s. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. And now we're going to take it down, up, down, up. All right, go ahead and push forward and pull back. Maximum range of motion, extend all the way out, pull back. So let's talk about some equipment that you might need to grab after you're done with warm-ups. The workout today, I'm going to be using hand weights. So you will probably, let's go ahead and take this overhead and pull down to the side. So if you have hand weights, that would be appropriate for chest press and row. You'll want to grab those. If not, grab 2 milk jugs filled equally with water, or 2 canned goods or jars of pasta sauce or whatever works for you, as long as they're the same weight. Let's go small circles forward. So we're going to be using those weights for chest presses and for rows. Go ahead and go medium circles forward. I think that's all I have as far as equipment. Big circles forward. All right, small circles backwards. Medium circles backwards. Large circles backwards. Remember, really get that range of motion going. All right, tip forward and up. Remember, just like our back, anytime we're doing something with our neck, side to side, we're only working within our range of motion. Keep our shoulders down so we're not trying to snap our neck. Look over your left shoulder and your right. We're just trying to work through and push just to the edge of our natural range of motion to warm up those muscles. All right, now would be a great time to pause your video and get 2 equally weighted objects that you can hold on to and come right back. I'm going to grab my dumbbells and then we'll get started. Okay, excellent. So, like I said, we've got 9 exercises, 1 minute each, 2 rounds through, so it'll be 18 minutes total with a 10-second transition. So, first we're going to get started with walking planks. So you're going to get in a push-up position and basically just walk side to side. So right here. And then once you get to the edge of your limit, just walk back. This is going to help you with shoulder stability and core strength and coordination. Got about 20 seconds left. At any point in time, if the 1 minute limit is too much for you and you are losing your form, you can always drop your knees and go knees instead of feet, or you can just take a longer break. All right, we're gonna switch to a reverse lunge with a kick. Now I have 2 sets of these, so we're gonna do one side for the whole set. So we're gonna step back and lunge, come up, front kick, step back and lunge, come up, round kick. Now, you can choose to do the same kick the whole time. So let's say you wanna lunge and do front kick your whole time. That's fine. You can do that. Just to keep things a little more creative for me, I'm switching kicks periodically so that I'm not doing the same kick for the whole time. It gives me an opportunity to practice multiple kicks. at least my fundamental kicks anyways. Nothing with a jump or a spin. But you can go all the way up to crescent and reverse crescent a few times. All right, now we're gonna grab your weights. You're gonna lay on your back for your chest press. All right, right here, head back, press over your chest. You can go elbows close to your body, especially if you have a shoulder issue. This position might be better. You can go 45, where my elbows are away from my body, but they're not in line with my shoulders. Or I can go in like a T position, where my elbows are coming out straight from my shoulders as I push these weights overhead. So I haven't intentionally programmed in a rest period between these 1 minute, because I did intentionally make some of them more aerobically challenging than others. So ideally during your chest press, you should be recovering your breath before you move in to the next exercise. All right, so now we're doing reverse lunges with a kick. So now I'm gonna step back with this leg, kick with this leg. Make sure when you're doing those lunges, your back heel is staying over your toes, so you're not angling your foot out. If you are turning over for a kick, make sure you square back up to the front when you return to your lunge, and keep your upper body upright in your lunge rather than leaning. You don't want to lean your chest forward on your knee, okay? That's not a good lunge. It makes your front knee more vulnerable. It's just bad mechanics. You are better off doing a shorter lunge with good mechanics than a bad lunge really deep. Poor mechanics on anything, whether it's a fitness exercise, a taekwondo exercise, it's always going to increase your risk for injury and build bad habits that you have to undo. Pick those weights back up again. We're going to do bent over rows. So just a slight forward of bend. Keep your belly button nice and tight. We're going to pull those elbows behind our rib cage, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Do not let your shoulders pop up. All right, this is a back exercise, not a neck exercise, not a shoulder exercise, okay? You want to maintain good posture. So for my head, neck, through my core, through my tailbone, I've got a nice straight line, right? Ideally, I'm not even turning my head. So if I turn forward, now I've got everything in line, and I'm pulling straight back, elbows coming behind me, shoulders staying down away from my ears so they're not creeping up here. Shoulders stay down and back. That way I can work this exercise in between my shoulder blades rather than up in my neck and the muscles that are on the tops of your shoulders, right here, your traps. All right, we're going to switch to an exercise called bird dippers. At least that's what I call them, because they remind me of those little birds that sit on the edge of a bird bath and tip over all at one time and touch the water and then come back up in order to keep the water from getting stale. Now, we only have one set of these, so at the halfway mark, we're going to switch feet and switch arms. So, but you are trying to keep your shoulder through your heel moving together. Let's go ahead and switch feet. And your arm is going down because your leg is coming up. So I'm not reaching for the floor. I'm also not bending at the hip in order to take my body down and lift my leg. My upper body and my lower body are moving together, and because of that, my arm is reaching towards the floor. Now maybe you stop here and come back up, but that's where you can maintain your alignment. That's fine. All right, we're coming back down to the floor. We're going to do plank rotations. I'm going to show you how to do them on your hands and knees and your hands and feet. So start in your push-up position. Right now I'm on hands and knees. I'm gonna roll open all the way. I should have a straight line, shoulder, hip, and knee. Come down into my push-up position. Roll open. Notice this knee is coming off the floor when I rotate onto the other knee. Back down, rotate open, back down. If the hands and knees are too easy, you can always come into a full push-up position. Rotate open and down. Notice my foot isn't coming off the floor, but I am rolling onto the inside and the outside of my feet so that they are flat in order to help create stability, so I'm not trying to stay on my toes when I turn my body to the side. That allows me to really commit to engaging those muscles in the side of my core in order to hold this position in a stable place. All right. Next exercise, mid-level is going to be squat jumps. So base level is just squats, okay? Deep squats, if you feel like you're able to. Squat jumps, if you want increased cardio and leg strength. And if you really want to kick it up, you can add a burpee to it, where you squat down, burpee, come back up, jump. Squat down, burpee, come back up, jump. All right? I'm going to keep it mid-level for me today. But you pick your level. We got 30 seconds left. You can even start at high level with your burpees, and then part of the way through, switch to your squat jumps, and then part of the way through, switch to just regular squats. That's fine. You're still doing 1 full minute of squatting exercises. You're just changing the impact or the intensity depending on how your body is responding to that activity. There's nothing wrong with using your body to advise yourself on where to go, but also try to challenge yourself when you can. Last exercise we're going to do is going to be side kick with a lift and pump. So it's chamber, kick, pump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-chamber down. Now the other side. Side kick, chamber, extend, pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Re-chamber down. Chamber, side kick. Why are we doing the chamber and the re-chamber? Well, 1, because we're martial artists, and that's how you throw a side kick. You chamber, you extend. But we also want our body to constantly be engaging our muscle memory for techniques that we use in our martial arts. So things like side kick, if you teach yourself to do them incorrectly with certain drills or certain strength exercises, and then expect to do them correctly, otherwise your body will get confused. All right. So now we're switching back to the beginning. That was 9 exercises. We're going to go back to those walking planks side to side. So get down in your push-up position, or hands and knees, side to side. Remember to keep your belly tight. Think about trying to pull your belly button in till it touches your spine, which I know is physically impossible. But if that's really what you try to do when you're doing this exercise, it's going to help your core stay engaged to support your low back. And if you need to, like I said before, switch to your hands and knees, keeping your hips in between your shoulders and your knees so you're not letting your bottom drop out. You're still doing the lateral movement, which is creating coordination, shoulder strength, stability. You're just taking the pressure off of your core, or maybe your low back if that's where you're feeling it, in order to continue for a minute rather than stopping early. All right, now we're going to those reverse lunges. I'm going to be stepping back with this leg first like I did last time, adding a variety of kicks. So reverse lunge, front kick, reverse lunge, round kick. Remember, try to keep your body upright. I kind of did a bad lunge there. Axe kick. I am skipping back kick just because it allows me to keep this movement consistent, so I'm not changing my feet too much. Oh, that was a bad round kick. Now, one of the tricks that you could be doing with these is if you're getting really fatigued by doing the same leg for a minute, you could always do one leg for 30 seconds and then switch to the other leg for 30 seconds. And then on the second round, do the same thing. All right, grab your weights, and we are switching to our chest press. So you're gonna lay on your back. Push those weights overhead. Now, you could be doing a push-up instead of this, and that is fine. However, in the last several weeks that I have worked on workouts, I have done a lot of push-ups because it minimizes the requirement for equipment, and I really just wanted to do something different today, and I wanted to give my elbow and my shoulder a little bit of break because they are telling me that they want a little bit of break from that loading. So push-ups are a great exercise, but if your body is telling you that a modification would be appropriate, this is a very nice alternative that will allow you to target the same muscle groups and decrease some stress on those muscles and joints if they feel like they are getting a little overworked. All right, we're gonna come out of this. We're gonna reverse lunge and kick the other leg. Now, just like your squat levels, the other modification that you can do to this is just take the kick away, right? So if you do the lunge, but you don't add the kick, you're minimizing the intensity of the exercise just a little bit, and that could make it easier for you. So these workouts are for your best interest, for your benefit. Try not to let your knee touch the ground. We want you to have a way to reduce stress, right? Because that's good for our body. But at the same time, everybody is at a different fitness level. So what is good for some people is not good for everybody. That's why you want to listen to your body, work to your maximum ability, and still do what your body says is okay. Pick those weights back up again, safely. Engage the core before you bend forward. Nice tight abs, flat back from head to tail, and pull those elbows right by the rib cage. I'm gonna square up so I can keep my neck in line with everything else, and my head isn't turned to the side. From here, you also can see that my elbows are going straight back. They're not winging out. You can see my shoulders are staying down. They aren't popping up into my ears when I pull those elbows back. That allows me to really focus on squeezing between the shoulder blades rather than squeezing at the back of my neck. We got about 20 seconds here. If it's getting to be too much for you, you can always alternate right and left so that you're getting just a little bit more rest between each arm, okay? So that's an option for you to take it down. Make sure you're exhaling as you pull back, you're inhaling as your hands come down. All right, you're done with your weights. We're going on to those bird dippers. So whatever leg you're standing on, the other arm and leg is working as a unit. You're extending through your hip, keeping your shoulder, core, hip, and heel in alignment. This is a balance exercise. It's a strength exercise. It's a core strength exercise. It's a hip stability exercise because I'm not rolling my hips open. It's an extension exercise for the muscles down the back of my back, glutes and leg. And it's a coordination exercise. It takes practice. Let's go ahead and switch sides. We're at the 30-second mark. To be able to move all of these parts together without falling over. It takes strength, balance, coordination. So this, if you did no other exercises every day, this could be a great balance exercise to work on once a day. So I love this exercise. I think there are a lot of benefits to it from a strength and flexibility. All right, we're gonna do those plank with rotation. Start in the push-up position, out to your right, out to your left. All right, ready? Push-up position, rotate open, push-up position. Notice I'm not doing the push-up in between. For some people, they may want to add that. I actually have added the push-up in previous workouts that we've done during this quarantine. But today, I really wanted to focus on the sides, and this also strengthens the muscles through your upper back and the back of your shoulders because they are pulling you open. They are controlling you from falling backwards too far, okay? So there's a lot of back strength that's going on, even though most people would interpret this as a core exercise, which it is engaging the core as well. I'm hitting the sides, center, sides. My back is staying engaged the whole time. All right. Back to that squatting motion. Remember, we've got squats, we've got squat jumps, you got burpees. You do whatever level is good for you. So we'll go small squat, deep squat, jump, and whoops, I left out the burpee. Sorry, small squat, deep squat, jump, and burpee. So you can vary your exercises like that as well. So you're hitting a variety within this 1 minute. Notice my toes are my feet are slightly wider than my hips. My knees come out over those feet, not past my toes, but out over my feet so that I've got good support in the base. So I am not knock-kneeing my squat and I'm not Bambi legging it on the way up. All right, nice and stable through the bottom half of that squat. You'll notice my hands are coming forward a little bit sometimes. That helps me keep my chest up so I'm not facing the ground when I squat, because that's not a squat. All right, last but not least, we have side kicks with a pump. So facing out, chamber, extend, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-chamber, down, chamber, extend, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, re-chamber down. I am using something to help me balance. You could make this exercise harder by not doing so. However, for me, I really want to focus on my alignment and that hip strength. And by not having to think about my balance, I'm able to focus on the other areas that I'm trying to work. Is my balance still working? Yes, I'm standing on one leg, okay? And I'm swinging the other leg around. This leg is being challenged. I'm just helping myself by not focusing all my attention on my balance, focusing more of my attention on the strength exercise that I'm trying to complete. Okay, whoops, forgot the re-chamber. All right, we are gonna move in to our cool downs now. So this is a great time for a drink of water if you haven't already gotten one. All right, so I'm gonna take one foot back, stretching through the calf by keeping that heel down, this hip open. Bring that arm across, so we're stretching through the back of the shoulder. Notice my shoulder is down. It's not up here in my cheek or my ear. Keeping it down. All right. And we're going to switch sides. Drive the opposite heel down, hip forward, shoulder down. Pull that arm across. Let's go ahead and come out here to one side, so we're kind of stretching through that leg. Bring Bring that elbow up, hand behind your back, hitting the tricep. If you feel uncomfortable, you can always just kind of stand in this position. All right, we're going to switch to the other side. The farther apart your feet are, the more you're going to feel that stretch through the hip, through the inside of your thigh. All right, go ahead and come on up. Thumbs down. Keep your hands at shoulder height. Push them open behind you as far as you can, keeping your hands up as high as you can. It's going to stretch through your biceps, which are the muscles on the front of your arm. All right, let's take one hand down, pull our ear to our shoulder. Keep your shoulders down, so you're stretching down the side of your neck. And switch. Take one hand behind your back, like you're scratching your back. Turn and look towards your other hand. Take that hand over your head and pull your nose down towards your shoulder. That's going to stretch down the back of your neck, down towards the back, like outside of your neck. So right now I feel this in the back of the left side of my neck. Let's go ahead and take both arms out to the side. The one that was on your head is going behind your back. You're going to turn and look at the other one and pull down. All right. So we're going to open those feet out. Turn this foot out, facing out. Come down into this like triangle stretch. Where I got one hand up, one hand down. I'm trying to keep my chest forward. I'm feeling a stretch through the back of my leg here and down my side. Toes forward, toes out to the side. Triangle in the other direction. And here. We're going to kind of curve. So now instead of taking a straight line, I'm trying to sort of create like a semicircle over here. It's going to change the stretch that you're feeling down your side. I'm going to repeat to the other side. Let's go ahead and come up. Keep those feet just a little bit apart. We're going to flat back down. I'm going to support myself right now because I'm getting a good stretch here. You can support yourself on your hands on the floor, but what we're really going for is wherever you're at, your back is in a straight line. So we're not curving down yet. We're keeping that back straight. You may need to use your core to help support your back a little bit. I'm really getting this stretch right through there, and a little bit in my hamstrings. I'm going to come up out of this stretch slowly, feet together. Walk my hands down. This is more where I'm allowing that back to curl. I'm really feeling more stretch down the hamstrings than in the back. Okay. I'm going to come up, feet out to the side, take it down to one side so we're isolating a little bit more. And then just walk your hands over to the other side. On back to the middle. Get yourself in a position where you can open up those side splits, keep your legs straight, keep your back flat, support yourself as needed. If you can go deeper, drop onto your elbows, but keep your back flat. Really feel that stretch in the inner thighs. All right, we're going to roll open to one side. So we got toes facing up. I have one hand on each side of my leg. My front leg is straight. I'm going to rotate to the other side. All right. All right, we're going to come back to the middle. since we're here already, feet together, knees apart, we're gonna stretch back into this. I'll come out of this in a second and do some other stretches on the floor. All right, we're gonna switch to our butterfly position. So you can go hands in front, pull those knees down, try to sit up straight, or you could put your hands behind you, forcing you up straight and really helping you open up. Wherever you feel the best stretch is the most important thing. Don't compromise your posture for this stretch. Once you can get your knees down and you can sit up straight, that is when you're ready to lean forward to increase the stretch. Let's go ahead and put those feet out in front. Reach for your toes, your ankles, your shins, depending on what your body will allow for. I'm going to take those open, coming down to one side. Now you are welcome to spend as much time as you want in every one of these stretches or do them multiple times. I am watching my clock because I have a group class coming up here in less than 5 minutes. So I am kind of pushing through these stretches a little bit quickly, just so that you can see every stretch that I would advise doing after your workout. But you obviously are welcome to spend as much time in any one of these stretching positions that you need. Let's roll over onto your stomach. Quad stretch. Really keep your hip facing towards the ground and don't rotate open or twist your knee out during this stretch. Switch sides. One hip in front. My heel is right next to my hip. My body is squared forward. I'm keeping my back, my posture in alignment. I'm taking my belly button towards my knee. All of these stretches that I'm including at the end of our workout are different than what I did at the beginning of our workout because I'm trying to open up my muscles with these stretches. I am trying to increase my flexibility, increase my range of motion in order to maybe minimize joint pain that I'm experiencing from sitting a lot more than usual, or increase my flexibility so that I can kick higher or more safely at a certain height, okay? So that is the purpose of doing these static stretches at the end of our workout, whereas at the beginning of our workout, we spend a lot more time working through different ranges of motion in a more controlled fashion, rather than pushing our limits so that we don't get hurt early on. So that's your dynamic warm-up or dynamic stretches is what you're seeing at the beginning of our workouts, whereas now we're getting these static stretches that we're sitting in for a little bit longer in order to let those muscles relax and open up into a longer range of motion. All right, last time here. So we did hip, we did 90. Now we're going out in front. My toe is still sideways, like I'm still laying on the side of my foot. You can kind of see my knee. This is the inside of my knee. This is my kneecap over here. So I am still getting a stretch down the outside of my leg and my hip. This is not a forward split. Okay, we did that already, just for clarification. All right. You can kind of see now when I change my position. This is the inside of my foot. This is the inside of my knee here. Okay, this is my kneecap over here. So I am keeping that inside of the leg turned upwards while I'm doing this stretch. Last but not least, if you need a pillow to support your knee or a towel, no problem. You're going to engage your core, engage your glutes, keep your body upright, open up the front of your hip, support yourself on your hand if you need to. This posture can be used to work on balance, but what we're doing now is not a balance exercise. Let's go ahead and switch knees. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs, open up your hip, chest stays upright. All right, guys, I apologize that the cool down seemed a little bit rushed. We did a lot of stretches in 10 minutes, which means we didn't spend 30 seconds in any stretch. However, you have the pause button. You can spend as much time and as many repetitions in all of these stretches that you wish. thank you for working out with us. Have a great day and stay healthy at home.